Hello, been a while since I've done a video, so what time to show you his latest machine. This is a 4x4, it's just a standard 4x4 that we sell, with a slight difference, which is the main reason for the video. This particular machine is actually going to one of the many sheds that's up and down the country where you can go and subscribe or do your little projects in there, and you rent the machine. I believe that's how they work. But that's where this is for. It's for called Eaton's Men in Sheds in Stockport, Manchester. But the main difference between this and all the other 4x4 machines and all the machines that we sell really is it's the first one that's ever had a fourth axis on the front. We've had people inquire before, but no one's ever actually gone ahead with it. So this is the first one. Basically, what it is, we've got a machined cast tooling plate on the front that we machine with an index reference edge on it. We drill and tap the holes so you can adjust the centres, so the tailstock can move up and down various work. The tailstock also adjusts in and out. We've got a revolving centre there. You've got your fourth axis, the fixed fourth axis at this end with a 3-jaw chuck. It's a standard indexer type. It's not actually a lathe. A lot of people mistakenly think they're lathes. They're not. They're an indexing machine. It indexes to an high resolution of degrees. It's got about, I think it's about a metre of between the centres you can cut, 950-ish. So that's it. For the people who have got our machines, you probably see the bed slightly different to what the other machines that we supply. The main reason for this is we had to keep the price down for them. They got a bit of a lottery grant and they didn't quite have enough for the machine, so we've worked with them to try and provide them with a machine at a sensible price, and that's one of the measures we took. But other than that, the machine's like all the others. We haven't cut down on anything that would be detrimental to the machine, so we've got all the usual stuff on. Ball screws are still inside the steel chokes for protection. We've still got the closed loop steppers on it. We've got as usual very rigid L-shaped gantry with a ball screw at the back. 10mm steel gantry sides. Proximity switches for the limits and ohms. Profile linear rails. All the usual. We've not cut back on anything that matters. Closed loop steppers, twin closed loop steppers on the y-axis inside these stupidly massively over-engineered covers that we have on them. And closed loop for the x-axis that connects to the ball screw with a little timing belt. Again, we've got proximity switches. You've got on the gantry, you've got a switch at each side, so if it goes out of square, it will auto square itself back up. So if you ever stall the machine or crash the machine, you just home it and it squares itself back up. This is being supplied with the standard water bucket that we supply, which is just a bucket, 25-litre bucket with a water pump inside it. Again, like I said, they didn't really have the money, so we didn't go for the upgraded aluminium water tank that's got the fans and the radiator and everything on it. So, but that's more than good enough for what they need, for what they're going to do. But we still got, as usual, like I said, super strong gantry with our super strong Z-axis. Again, it's all machined aluminium cast tooling plate that's been machined to get the weight down but still keep it very strong. The whole Z-axis is made from this, the front plate, the back plate. There's plates inside there. The Z-axis motors in there. Again, closed loop stepper motors in there. It mounts vertically with a little belt that runs across to the ball screw. The ball screw's inside there. It's fully covered, as you can see, so you're not getting any debris in there, which is again one of the reasons why we do it. There's a connection there for the wired probe that we supply with every machine. And again, we've got the usual with I don't know if people are aware of this, but we have twin plates on there. These are 20mm tooling plate again that we machine. And the reason we have these twin plates is because the gantry can be unbolted from the bearings very quickly. There's 3 bolts there, 1 bolt at the back, and the whole gantry will lift off, which in this case is, well, not just this case, in many cases we've had to do that, but this particular case, the Men in Sheds group is located in a church, under the church, in the catacombs. So we're going to have to take this machine apart completely. So the gantry is coming off, the top frame is being separated from the base frame, just to get it in the place. Which is not unusual, which is exactly why it's been designed in this manner, because we do provide a lot of these machines to men in sheds that literally are working out of sheds with limited access, or we've put them in attics. We had a townhouse and it was 3 flights, and we put it in the attic, believe it or not. Carried it up these very narrow stairs. So yeah, we've got them in all over the place in some ridiculously tight places, just because of that, because we can take the machine apart quickly, put it back together quickly, and keep the accuracy. Electrical cabinet. It's all housed in a steel cabinet with an interlock door. You can't actually open it, have it powered up with a door open. Quick run down in here. We've got as closed loop stepper drivers there running across the top. The AXB Ethernet motion controller there. We actually have a little relay board that we've had made for ourselves, which helps us quickly wire the machine up. We're not messing around with wires so much now. Makes it neater, more reliable. 4th axis there for the drive for the 4th axis, the power supply for the 4th axis. Toroidal transformer for the main drives. A little power supply in the back there, which powers the relays this board up. Then you've got your main ACBs, MCBs, rather than noise filters for the VFD, and well, the old box actually. And your interlock there. We've got the fans. You can see the fans on the top when the air in and out. One pulls air, hot air out, new one cool air in. The VFD for the spindle, which by the way is there, a 2.2 kilowatt water cooled spindle that we fit on every machine. That's the only spindle we provide. We don't provide smaller power, only bigger. The VFD's on the front, on the side of the case, sorry, externally, mainly to keep the heat from outside the box so it's not overheating inside. Plus you can see the display. You can set the display on these VFDs to display various either frequency, current, RPM. We tend to set them to current because you can watch the current go up as the tool wears, so it gives you a good indicator on how your tool's doing. If your amps start going up, suddenly you know your tool's gone blunt. The control screen you'll see displays RPM that you program, so you've got an indication from that, so you don't really need to display the RPM. But if you wanted to, you can. Some people do prefer to have it set to RPM, but we don't. And that's it really. Nothing's really changed much from the little changes that we're constantly tweaking these machines somewhere. The main one that people might see is people who've got some of the earlier machines. We've moved the e-stop. We've got this little plate now on the front, and the buttons for the reset are no longer on the box. We used to have them on the side of the box, now they're at the front here for convenience. The main reason we did that, we used to put them on this plate in a box. The e-stop used to be mounted on there, but people used to catch it. If you're like me, you've got a fat belly, you used to come along, boom, catch it. This down here is not, it's set back quite a bit, it's not so easy to catch, so that's why we did that. We had a bit of feedback, and we noticed people would go to the machines a year or so more after, and people had moved the box, moved them down here, and we asked why, and that's why. So we decided to do that ourselves, take that hassle away from people. So that's the feedback we got. But the rest of the machine is just the same. Now the other thing, for the Glide, you'll notice the surroundings have changed. We're in a different building. This building now, we've actually bought this. This is a It used to be a farm, pig farm. And we bought this building, we bought the farm. We actually live on site now. It's a massive place, a lot bigger than our old place. It's like 3 times the size. The main reason we did that was the unit, we rented the unit at go, and the landlord sold the estate. I'd been on that estate over 20 years, and he just upped and sold it, didn't tell anyone. Just one day we'd got no owners, and they came in and tried to double the rents overnight. Luckily I'd got a lease, so they couldn't do that, but my lease was ending in January. So we started looking for somewhere to buy or rent. Couldn't find anywhere else to rent, again at sensible money. It's so difficult finding suitable properties at sensible money. And anyway, we ended up finding this place and decided to buy it rather than rent. So in a way they did us a favour. Which explains why you've probably not seen much of me for the last year, because it's been a crazy year. Like I say, this was a pig farm, and this building was just where the pigs were located, and it was full of pig sties. It wasn't anything like what you see now. So there's been a massive amount of work gone into this. We've had to put a new roof on it, rewire it all with new electrics, clear out pallets and pallets of brick, knock walls down. There's a crazy amount of work gone into it. It goes right back through those doors where that Land Rover is. The sheds outside. It's a massive place. We've also started taking a bit of work on now. We're doing machining work. If anybody needs machining work for the DI lads, we've got a Zerco, and there's a big lathe there, and another small Fadal milling machine there. Small lathe there that we do all the pulleys with. Don't look at that, that's an horrible plasma machine. Just does the job, but we don't show it to people. It's naughty. Yeah, so that's why you've not seen much of it. We've got this place. Still a work in progress. We're constantly changing things, moving things, trying to find the best location. Right, we do electrics in that room at the back there, so a bit of a, right in the far corner there we keep a bit of a stores, and we've got stuff on the racking. It's a bit of a constantly changing every week. Something moves or changes. Yeah. Right, so that's it. That's why I did this video. Thank you. Cheers.